Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go.
I think heart-centered women don't give themselves permission to dream big enough. I think you're actually more capable than you think you are. But the thing is, you're so smart and so practical that we don't often give ourselves permission to think and dream big. You're a great problem solver. Like, think about the problems that you've solved, like fixing everyone else's lives, fixing your client's life. If you put half of that energy into yourself, and not even into your dreams only, but like even giving yourself permission to dream. I encourage my clients to do an exercise called a dream day or a desire dump. And the idea is you take 15 minutes to just dump out all of your dreams and desires. Now, the first time I did this, it was extremely hard. And I had to remind myself with the affirmation, it's safe to know what I want and to ask for it directly, because I didn't even know what I wanted. So I started with like little dreams, like, okay, I want to improve my Spanish. I want to make lavender Play-Doh with my kids. Like, those are some of the exact ones I wrote down. And as I taught myself, it's safe to acknowledge my desires, really acknowledge my body, right? At that same era, I also was like, I want to be better at, like, when I have to pee, getting up and going to the bathroom instead of like, I'll just hold it longer. When I noticed the first cue of my body being thirsty, going and getting some water. And this is the way that I started awakening and telling my body it's safe to have bigger dreams and visions. And so if you have some goals and dreams and you've been feeling stuck in bringing them to life, it might be because those aren't actually the dreams that you really, really want, because your body's smart. And if you're not bringing to life some of your dreams, it could be because you don't actually want them. There's something bigger that's in store for you. And so I want to talk about awakening big dreams, especially because I get to go to Spain next month. I'm so excited. And I just been thinking a lot about how I've made some of my bigger dreams happen like this, right? Like living abroad for a month with my kids, manifesting my first really, really affordable apartment when I was in the midst of my separation, manifesting my dream house next to my parents, manifesting my trip to Ireland, and just thinking through, if you would have told me like 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, like, I don't even think I want those things. And I think our body protects us by telling us like, I don't want anything big. But you do want big, beautiful things. And this is why I love using the phrase happy, boring dream life, because it doesn't have to look like someone else's version of success. But I want to invite you to spend the next 10 minutes with me. Next week's episode is going to be like a little bit more structured and like the practical insights on how I made like my Spain trip happen. But today I want to be a time for you and I to just spend 10 minutes on thinking about your next big dream. And maybe it's a dream that you've had for a while, but you haven't prioritized. Maybe you feel blank and you don't feel like you even have dreams. You feel like you're just surviving. But I really encourage you to see what comes up for you. And by the end of these 10 minutes, I want you to get clear on just one big dream that you know is your next step, is your domino that's going to make the other things happen. When I encourage my clients to do this dream day exercise, after they brained up all of their dreams, all of their desires, then I have them just pick one to work on next. And this can be hard, right? Like, I'm an ENFP, Enneagram 7. I like my multi-passioned life of variety, but it's so important that you just tell yourself in the universe, like, here's just one thing that I'm working towards. And if other things happen along the way, great. I do often write down like one business desire and one big life desire, but I would love for you to email me yours. Like, what's your big business desire right now? And what's your big life desire? And how are you moving towards that? And I just want to acknowledge too, like, as we work towards these bigger dreams, like sometimes there's like a stop and a start in how we make it happen. right? Like I feel like with my house, it's probably about like 2 years that I was not just saving up the money, but I was also, touring houses and figuring out financially what that would look like for me. And like some of these things like take a while. And it doesn't look like we hear like, oh, you have to be consistent. I would say I wasn't super consistent. Like some months I wasn't saving anything towards the house. And then another month I would put $5,000 towards the house, my house fund, right? Like some months I was touring a lot of houses. Some months I wasn't touring houses at all. Same thing with Spain, right? I really locked that in like a year ago. And then about 6 months ago, I like booked the bigger things like the plane tickets and the language school and our Airbnb. And then it wasn't till like more recently that I booked our train tickets, and like I did it in spurts. And I think that we don't want to hear this because we think that I know for me, often I'll get like this impulsive desire to like do something right now. Right. But it's totally normal, especially as busy women, to have like certain seasons where we lean in and out, but we don't give up that hope. We don't give up that faith. And I think for me, it brings that surrendered energy of like, I know this is mine, but I'm going to be patient and know that it's going to take time, right? Know that little things are going to happen in my life that may distract me or keep me busy, but I'm never going to give up on this big dream, right? Again, for me, I even think about with my business, like when I was quitting my job on maternity, launching my business for the first time, I really feel like I was making consistent progress towards my business, but it definitely happened in spurts, right? Where like my day job would be a little bit busier and my business would be on the back burner a little bit. And then my day job would be a little slower. And then I'd be able to like, batch a little bit of content or do a little bit of extra outreach. And I remember when I was in college, I've always had this way of operating, and someone was like, you're not very balanced. And I was like, actually, I think that I am balanced. Like, I think that it's normal to adjust and adapt to the ebbs and flows of life and not call that inconsistency. I was just talking to a client yesterday who has a very busy day job, and she's building her coaching practice on the side. And she was like, I don't know if I should launch in 2 weeks or in 4 weeks, and just feeling like a lot of pressure. And we ended up deciding like, let's just wait a little bit. Let's do 4 weeks, right? Because as you're hearing this, you're probably like, the difference between 2 and 4 weeks isn't that long. But sometimes when you're in it, it can feel like it's going to make or break things. And giving yourself just a little more time doesn't mean you're not being consistent, right? I love changing up things in my business. Like that's why we have a small business, is for flexibility. But so often we don't give ourselves permission to have that, right? Like I feel like even though my work is pretty structured, I have client calls, I have often like, changed a client call time because I want to go to an event at my kid's school or something. Obviously, I tell the client in advance, right? But I think we forget like we have the flexibility. There was a time last year where I was in the middle of a launch, but I was going through something personally. And so I ended up like moving the cart close date, right? Like, and you're probably thinking like, well, obviously that's fine. But on the inside of my business, that felt very intense. Right? It feels like, oh, am I being flaky? Or, oh, am I, I don't know. I hear from my clients all the time, like, I want to be consistent. I don't want to be flaky. But like, I think for heart-centered women who are responsible, who are not flaky, giving yourself permission to be what will feel like a little flaky, right? What will feel like will be inconsistent. And we give ourselves permission to be flaky and inconsistent. Again, I don't think it's those things. I'm just using those words, right? Then we're able to manifest our big dreams faster, because then we're not resisting or making ourselves wrong for this normal ebb and flow that happens on the way to a big dream. This is why I love working with my clients for 6 months because I feel like so much can happen in life. And when we are like, oh, I'm going to wait to hire a coach until my life slows down, or until I wait till I move, or until I wait till whatever, right? Something else is going to pop. Like life is always lifing. If I know anything from the last 10 years in business, is that life never stops lifing. And so might as well start sooner than later, because time is a really big asset when it comes to business, right? The sooner you can plant seeds, start building your list, start building connections, the faster you're going to make money. And so with very few exceptions, like really debilitating health situations, I really recommend you get coaching now. Like you work towards your dreams now, because that natural ebb and flow is going to happen. And it reminds me of when people say like, don't try to time the stock market, or don't try to buy a house at the perfect time, right? Like if you're in it for the long haul, when you buy a home, if you're going to own your home for more than 8 years, if you're going to be in the stock market for more than 8 years or 3 years or whatever the average is, you're going to be making money. I think about that same way in business. Like enter into your business now, whether it's like a busy time or a slow time in your life, you need to figure out. For me, I love building my business for when my life is busy. That's why I'm a 3-day entrepreneur. That's why I work a 3-day work week. Because sure, some weeks I do have, availability to work 5 days, but not all of them. And on a challenging week, whether it's a good challenge because I'm traveling or maybe my kids are doing activities I want to be involved in, or whether it's a bad challenge like this year, all my health issues, right? Like on a bad week, I can only work 3 days a week. That's all I have capacity for, right? And I need it to be somewhat flexible. And so I've really designed my business around that. And when you design it with buffer, then it's so much easier to be consistent. Okay, so when I was thinking about this episode, I thought I think I want to share some affirmations for you because I feel like this is a big mindset shift that will expedite how you meet your big dreams and big goals, whether it's hitting 20 to 40K months, whether it's, I don't know, whatever it is in your life or your business, whether it's traveling or moving or renovating your house or funding your retirement account. I really feel like it happens faster when we don't make the ebbs and flows wrong, right? You know that saying hey, it's not how many times you fall off the horse, it's how many times you get back on. If you fall off the horse and you're like, oh my God, I fell off the horse and, there's something wrong with me and I'm so embarrassed that you just stay down there. Of course, you're not going to be making traction. But if you fall off and you're going to be like, whoopsie, okay, let's get back on again. And you play with it and you're like, of course, as I'm riding my horse across the country, of course, there's going to be times I fall off. Now, need to say, it's probably a bad analogy because I don't ride horses. Some of you equestrians are like, what is she talking about? But it's just reminding yourself and I think for me, this is one of my early affirmations you heard me share is my success is inevitable. When you believe something is yours, it's so much easier not to make it mean anything when you have a little obstacle or a stumble, when you have something happen in life where you have to pause for a second and regroup, right? I really want you to get locked in and remind yourself hey, there's nothing wrong with me. Right? I'm doing everything right. I can give myself permission to dream bigger. It's safe for me to be inconsistent and still meet my goals. It's safe for me to be flaky and still meet my goals. It's safe for me to whatever it is. Maybe you feel like you're not smart. It's safe for me to be not smart and still meet my goals. It's safe for me to be unorganized and still meet my goals, right? Again, I think men in general have a much easier time of believing they're worthy of big, beautiful things in life without attaching so much of their behavior or their worthiness or their, whatever, how they look, their work ethic, right? Really believing you're worthy of that thing and deciding on it, knowing that it's yours and working towards it. Okay. If you would like a copy of the Dream Day Workbook, I would be happy to send it to you. But I really encourage you to set a timer and see if you can brain dump for 15 minutes on the things in your life that you're wanting. And if you have to sit there staring at a blank page for 15 minutes because you've never done this before, and then finally in the 15th minute, you write down 2 things, that's a success. That's a success, right? Because you're training your body. It's safe to get clear on what you want and to write it down and to share it. Maybe the next time you do it, you'll be able to be unstuck after 5 minutes. And then maybe eventually you'll be able to write initially. I know for me, when I do this exercise, often it's a little bit sticky during the time, but then the rest of the day, when I'm just working or showering, little ideas will come to mind. I'm like, oh, I do want that thing. Oh, I was right. And it can be shallow. It can be a purse you're wanting, right? It can be something deep, like changing the world or volunteering at a place, giving yourself permission to really get after what you want for your life, but also for your business. Are you wanting to work a 3-day work week? Are you wanting to make $300,000 a year? Really getting clear on those desires and knowing that it's a rough draft, right? As you're writing down the desires, no one's going to force you to do them, but just putting them on paper, I think is even risky. When I do my mastermind, I have the women say their desires out loud. And even that, sometimes they'll be like, wait, do I have to say it out loud? Again, it's less about other people judging us because in a mastermind space, it's super safe, right? But often it's more about us judging ourselves for those desires. I've had a lot of those conversations with my clients lately about the judgments that we have around becoming more wealthy, becoming more free, becoming more well-traveled, having nicer houses. having slow mornings. Like we have so much judgment around what it means to be wealthy, to be happy, to be peaceful, to be successful as women, right? Our own internalized self-judgment around what that means. So I get that it's hard. You don't have to solve all that overnight. All you have to do is start listing it so you can keep working towards it, right? Knowing that it might change over time, but that is literally every desire I've had. My house, the Spain trip has started with me really getting clear on something, me getting sold, and also like holding it with open hands. Like for this one, I know when I booked it 6 months ago, I actually booked it with in a way where all $10,000 I spent up front could be reimbursed and refunded, right? My tickets were refundable. My, language school was refundable. My Airbnb was refundable. And some people might be like, oh, that means that she really didn't want it. But no, for me, it's like, I am someone that doesn't like to feel trapped in things. Like I like to have like a lot of control. And so for me, I know that about myself and that's important. And it's actually a way that I have actually met my big dreams and desires is by giving myself escape hatches that actually makes me feel more safe as I'm making the dream happen. I don't know if that makes sense, right? For me, also with my business, this is why I kept my day job even while I was starting to grow my business and while I was growing it while I was still on maternity leave and I really waited to quit. And I kept that open. And I think sometimes we think like, oh, what's the whole thing? Like, cut your parachute or like, what was the phrase of like, basically like don't need a safety net? Bullshit. Like I need my safety net. Okay. And I think for me, when I feel safe, that helps me meet my big goals faster. It's why I always have a giant cash reserve because I don't need it, right? My business is consistently making money, but I want it. I didn't need to make my trip to Spain refundable, but I wanted to. Because for me, that gives me the peace of mind that it's safe for me as I work towards a big goal to back out at any time. And I think for a lot of women, that makes us feel a lot safer and know that we have options, know that we can, it's interesting tension that we can be fully committed to something, but we can also hold it loosely and not be attached to it and know that something better might come your way. Like I felt like, okay, let's say for whatever reason, we couldn't travel to Spain this summer. Well, maybe we would travel somewhere in the States, right? Or like the phrase like this or something better. The cool thing about aggressively working towards your goals, and I really want you to hear this for business too, because I think so often we're like, what if I change my niche down the road? What if I change my core offer or my program or what you do to be driven and get success in these next 90 days is going to build a block for success on the next layer. It just works that way. And the more committed and unattached we can get to the process, I think the better. Okay, your action step for this, well, is number one, to do a desire dump, but also to email me with your big dream. And when I say big dream, whatever that means for you, it doesn't have to be wrong. If you'd like, you can email me your one big business desire. Maybe it's getting fully booked with one-on-one clients. Maybe it's selling out a group program. Maybe it's more financial, like hitting your first 20K month, your first 40K month, your first 5K month, your first 1K month, whatever it is. I love it. Your business desire and your personal desire. What feels like a personal desire to you that maybe feels all my dreams that I've ever manifested have always felt impossible at the time. Always. Like, I want this, but I also don't know if it can happen. And for me, it's like, well, if I don't do it, at least I will get closer to what I do want. And at least I tried, like I really had that feeling of like life is short. And so why not go after what we can while we're here? Like why not fail miserably? Why not care less about what other people think, I would love to invite you to join the 3-Day Entrepreneur Waitlist if this is resonating with you, if you want my support around dreaming bigger and making those dreams happen in 6 months, because I really think, again, 6 months is a great amount of time to start manifesting and realizing your big dreams, whether it's like me and I wanted to save $200,000 cash for a house, which I was able to do, whether it's working towards a 3-day work week in your business, whether it's a course business or a coaching business or a done-for-you business. Like I'm a big fan of getting clear on your big dreams and like making them happen really practically. I offer high touch support in 3-Day Entrepreneur, and really it's surrounding yourself with a coach that really believes in the 3-day work week, believes that it's safe for you to work part-time hours and make a lot of money, because almost all of our dreams require time and money. And so that's why I feel like the 3-day work week is so essential. Feel free to join the wait list because this program always sells out. Next round is in fall, but join the wait list now. I would love to see your name on that wait list. And I also do early enrollment early in the fall where you get a bonus session with me. And so make sure you join the 3-day entrepreneur wait list if you're at all interested and really start manifesting this support, the support that's going to get you to these big dreams. Okay, sending you a big hug.
Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.